You had a private revelation. I see. Jesus came to you. Jesus told you to do this. Look, Paul anticipates the only possible defense of women preachers. One, you have ideas that literally trump God. You're getting private revelation. As that most famous woman preacher says, I didn't surrender to a calling of man when I was 18 years old. I surrendered to a calling of God. It never occurs to me for a second not to fulfill it. I will follow Jesus. Jesus tells me what to do. Really. The only defense is either you're the author of Scripture, or you're the author of a higher Scripture than God, or you get personal revelation. One of the conversations that woman had with Jesus went like this. How you doing this morning? Jesus said. I said, I'll get to you in a minute. He said, oh, don't mind me. I'm doing fine. How are you? This is the daily routine of somebody who's trying to justify their disobedience by special, intimate, personal revelation where Jesus talks only to them. So here's the last word. Verse 37 and 38. If anyone thinks he's a preacher or spiritual, led by the Spirit, pneumatikos, if anybody thinks he's a preacher or spiritual, let him recognize the things which I write to you are the Lord's commandment. If you don't recognize what I've just written as the Lord's commandment, you are neither a preacher nor spiritual. Verse 38, if anyone does not recognize what I've written as the Lord's command, he is not recognized. If you don't recognize the command of God, we don't recognize you as a preacher or a spiritual person. What Paul wrote is the Lord's command. Violate that command, and you're not a preacher, and you're not spiritual. You're a fraud.